And hello everyone, Terrible Shoes back at it again. And for today's video, we're going to be talking about two things involving the Nintendo Switch, Pokemon games, and why I think, there's just a little bit of misinformation out there about some things, so I want to talk about them. Then we're going to discuss two things today. The first thing we're going to talk about is the absolute disaster that was the Miraidon and Koraidon codes at Gamestop. Then we're going to talk about the Legend ZA Mega Dimensions DLC, which will introduce a bunch of new Mega Evolution Pokemon. And we're going to talk about a few misconceptions people have with that DLC as well. So if you like what you see, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm Terrible Shoes. Let's get right into today's discussion. So the first thing that we are going to talk about today is the codes from GameStop. Most people are reporting that their GameStops only received about 20 to 30 codes, which I think is really crazy for an event this big. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense either, because we know that there are people online who are selling these codes for upwards of $30 a piece, which is disgusting. $30 for a free item that you don't even have to buy something to receive. It's very clear that GameStop employees back-ended a ton of these codes and gave out a ton of them to their friends as well. And I think due to this situation, Pokemon should never team up with GameStop. Again, this should be strictly a digital distribution, or what they should do, like they do in other countries outside of the US. I know this is going to sound a little crazy. Instead of having a limited number of physical cards to give out, the code should be printed on your receipt. GameStop already does this with DLC codes, so I'm not certain why they couldn't do it with this, or why the Pokemon company opted for this option, knowing it wasn't going to work out with the current state of the TCG and everything else involving Pokemon. And it's really crazy. Again, I said that already, but it's really crazy that they chose the actual worst humanly possible option for this. And I actually am going to be real here. I believe this was done intentionally to continue to stir the pot, keep eyes on Pokemon, and it is a problem that I believe at this point they are never going to fix. I know I've said in the past I thought that the card game would kind of like the bubble would burst, but I am actually at the full conclusion at this point that the Pokemon company themselves wants it to be this way, because it always keeps eyes on Pokemon, and they say any attention, whether it's good or bad, is great for the franchise, and that is unfortunately true. That's really it for the codes. The distribution method sucks ass, and a lot of us can't get our shiny legendaries because of this. And then you have all of these little BS YouTube channels that are charging you for Discord memberships and other things, and then they just gen the shinies for you, which is really annoying to see as well. And this is the one time I think the Pokemon company should go after someone, because what are you charging someone $10 a month to get a free shiny for that you used a program to generate? Like, go fuck yourself. The other thing we're going to talk about today, and this one is a topic that a lot of people seem to have a really huge misconception on, and that is the DLC for Legends ZA. I almost said the Legends Arceus. ZA comes out, at least at the time of recording this, in about 2 to 3 weeks. I personally think the game looks fine. I'm going to be getting it. It looks like it's going to be a fun, kind of like a different experience with Pokemon. I really liked Legends Arceus, and I'm looking forward to this one. I'm not a big fan of the city setting, but that's just me. But all in all, I think the game looks fine. There is a Season Pass-esque DLC that is up right now for $30, called Mega Dimensions. As we mentioned earlier, this is not Day 1 DLC. A lot of people are looking at this and saying online, it is Day 1 DLC, and it is always the ugliest, largest, and greasiest people you've ever seen that are just looking for a reason to be mad. This DLC is not going to be launching until the end of February. That is confirmed right on the page on the eShop itself. People who are saying this is a day one DLC seem to be confused because you get a free outfit for pre-ordering the DLC, which I don't see a problem with. It it's a completely optional pack. It is a completely optional story mode pack that takes place right after the main story in an alternate dimension. And again, people just seem to have this incredible misconception because I've seen other people say that it is just the two Raichu Megastones as well. And it's nuts. People don't do any research into what they're complaining about before they complain about it. They spread false misinformation, which generates tons and tons and tons of other people believing this, and then they're not going to buy this because they are incredibly dumb as well and believe anything that some random YouTuber that screams into a microphone will say. I personally think the Pokemon Company should come out with a more informative video on this DLC pack, which clears the air and shuts these YouTubers who are spreading false information up. And it also hopefully will encourage some of the dumber people who still believe this is a day one DLC to really look at their single brain cell and realize they're not as intelligent as they believe they are. And that's really it. It's not day one DLC. Pre-order DLC. It sucks ass, but it's not day one DLC. Unfortunately, whatever you say, it's just not. And that's really it. People need to do more research on the things that they're complaining about. And on top of that, Pokemon Company should never work with GameStop again. And it's really sad to see that this state has transferred over to the video game as well, because they realize that they can scalp way more than just cards. And I'm going to be real here. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future scalpers started scalping Pokemon figures and other merchandise as well. That's all I really have to say for today's video. It's just a discussion of a few things that are going on with the video games, and I think it's just stupid. It's really stupid, in fact. And people are really stupid, and we shouldn't have to take this, so to say. The Pokemon Company really needs to step up and fix what is wrong with their franchise and all of the atrocious decisions they've been making lately. And on the contrary, people need to do better research on what they're complaining about. That's really about it. I'm going to end the video here. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. I'm Terrible Shoes. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.